How are you, gentlemen? Are you all good?
Yeah.
You all good? I felt like I should bow then.
How are you all
as the king came onto the stage. Look at that. That's fantastic.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so all good. So, Lee, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good. You're working on, I don't know if you're allowed to say anything about this, so I'm going to just put it to you. You're working on a show for Apple at the moment. How do you want a foundation?
Yeah, I just started on it, so I don't know much except it's a series based on the books by Isaac Asimov. And we've just started on it, and it's going to be really cool.
I heard it was pretty good. That's fantastic.
I recommend reading them before the series comes out because they're a really fun read. Has anyone read them? Do y'all know the Asimov books? Yeah, cool. Some hands in the back there.
One. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Dean, you're working on I know, I can see the back. Look at that. You're working. You've got a 6-month-old, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a 6-month-old. Yes.
That's taking up all of your time, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's really good. Yes, I'm loving being a dad. It's quite hard sometimes, but no, I mean it's amazing. It's my first little girl. I'm over the moon about it, and she sleeps through the night, so I feel like normal.
At 6 months.
Sorry, I don't want to rub that in if anyone has kids, but she's like 7 to 7. But compared to being on set, being on set's a breeze.
And Bernard, welcome to the Middle Earth panel as well. Fantastic to see you.
Great to be.
Oh, have we got your mic? Yeah. Is that one dead? Try that one. Hold on. See if that one does. Oh, I don't know if that one does as well. That one should. Try that one, if that one's any better. That one does. So it's
worked. Hi, yeah,
that's better.
This is great being here.
Yeah, fantastic.
Your microphone is kind of like perfect happiness.
Oh, whenever we put these panels on, we're never quite sure who's going to be available to sort of come up. So you're all doing your photo ops and everything else. So we're always so grateful you make time to come up and speak to the fans and spend time with them. So I know it means a lot to you guys, doesn't it? Yeah. To get a few moments with you. What's the photo op been like for you today? Have you had lots of queue, lots of people down there? And
the last person that came to my table was I think it was a woman, but she had a moustache, a fake moustache, and she was in a barrel.
She made me get in that barrel.
I sold her the barrel. It's just great. I love it when people do. The Soapy Man and his partner came along. Not Superwoman, but whoever she was. And they were great. They looked exactly the same, including the shape. And a guy who was completely blue earlier on.
It's been cold.
It was a good joke. It wasn't a joke. He was serious. I was completely convinced that the hair grew blue. He had a massive hairy chest.
One of his hair
probably came out blue. It probably gave him the idea of being Blue Man.
He could well have been. He could have been a troll looking for Ronan the Accuser, mind you, couldn't he?
I saw Ronan earlier.
Yeah.
It must be down there still. There's 2 out there. So.
You know, I know how special it is for the fans there, but what's it like for you guys when you're at those photo ops and you can actually meet? What was going on with that?
His trident. What was that?
The trident. Yeah. We'll try that again. What's it like for you guys being able to actually, meet the fans face to face? I mean, I just can't imagine.
My favorite is the costumes. I like seeing people in the costumes. How many people here are wearing one? Yeah.
I can see.
Can we see them? Can y'all stand up?
Can you stand up? You've got some sort of middle age.
Huh?
Middle Earth?
No, just could be a costume. Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's a nice costume. Yeah.
Really nice.
You see me when I'm normal.
Is that an elf? I think I see a couple elves over there.
Elves. Is there a dwarf? Anyone representing the dwarfs? Thank you.
Oh, yeah, look.
Billy and Kelly.
Love it.
Fantastic. The dwarves are stood up, by the way. You just can't see them.
You know what's weird is that when we first convention we did, and I thought, no one's going to dress up as dwarves, and it's too much of an effort. And a lot of people did, and they were all women. Yeah, I was like, awesome. I haven't met a Fili that's a guy.
They go with natural beards, or
Well, I don't think so. But yes, everything sticking on the beards is kind of amazing.
I saw Jesus earlier on. No, seriously.
where's he hanging around?
He's kind of floating.
Slow audience today, sorry.
The gantry, we walk over, and he looked down on both sides, and there was a guy, it was Jesus.
Wow.
The actual one?
How do you mean?
The real Jesus.
You got to ask that question.
Because if so, he's early. I know we've only got you guys about 20 odd minutes, and I know there's going to be lots and lots of questions out here to put to you. So we've got some roaming mics up in the air. That was like Wonder Woman then. That was wonderful. Okay. We can see there's hands up in the air already. Can we get some questions in here? That'd be fabulous.
Hi, I was wondering if you could be any other character from Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit besides your own. What would you be?
I think Ian McKellen got paid really well. And I know John Rhys Davies certainly did, playing Gimli. So either of those two would be great.
Maybe Thranduil, just to see what it's like to be a bit taller.
I don't know. It's a tough question. Gollum.
There we go. Right. Oh, here we go.
Hello. I know on the Lord of the Rings, people in the Nine Fellowship, all but John Rhys Davies got a fellowship tattoo. Did anyone, when you were on The Hobbit, do the similar sort of, maybe not a tattoo, but a kind of like joint thing to commemorate your time together?
I didn't get a tattoo. Did you get a tattoo?
I had Peter Jackson's face tattooed on my back. No, nothing.
So he's always watching your back from now on.
Yeah. Still,
I got a tattoo.
Oh,
I think I got it on my arm.
what is the tattoo?
the knife or what it was.
No, what is, they wouldn't let me have that. They were very kind of tight with like the nine. Yeah, they just you can't have a tattoo. You've got to get one. Definitely got to get one. So I went to a guy called Mike Grealish, who'd done some leather patterning for me, some travel pouches that I'd had made. And I said, "What have we got?" And he said, "I've got this," and it showed a stamp, like a wooden kind of stamp. And I said, "Oh, what does that look like?" And he stamped it onto the piece of paper. And he said, "That's on Théoden's leather, the horse's leather, and it was great." So I said, "That'll do." So I took it to a tattooist, and he said, "Bit big." Took it down. It was that big. He took it down to about that big. He just did it, kind of hand drew it, and then cut it, and then he stuck it on me, like tattooed me with it.
Yeah,
That's quite good. I quite like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Very few people have seen it.
till today.
Next Comic Con,
Till
we're going to
today,
have a rate at the bottom of the rating to see the tattoo. Yeah, you can have a combi of 3. See the tattoo as well.
Brilliant. Okay.
Hi guys, so this one's mainly for Dean, but also those of you who's gone to New Zealand as well. My brother's recently emigrated to Auckland. I was wondering if you could tell us a few things that you particularly like about Auckland or just New Zealand in general.
Oh, wow. Well, okay. There's lots of things I like about New Zealand. One thing I really love about New Zealand at the moment is our Prime Minister. Jacinda Ardern is just my hero, and she's a lot of people's hero. And she's just done some things at the moment which I find so inspiring, and we feel like she really represents a voice of ours. So that's a big one for me at the moment. I love the countryside. You're always close to the ocean, or if not the ocean, something beautiful. And I live a little bit out of the city, not much, but a little bit on 3 acres. And I can sort of live there and escape, and then I can drive half an hour and I'll be back in town. And it's just a really special place. We're a pretty egalitarian country, so it's a good place to grow up, I think. Yeah. So go if you haven't.
Fantastic.
This one's for all three of you. Did any of you take anything from the set? Were you allowed to, or did you just take it like swords, weapons? And if you didn't, what would you have took from your character from the set?
I took my sword, or they gave me a sword. And I also took a pair of my ears, because I would get new ears every day, and I've got them pressed in the copy of my Hobbit. Very shriveled and nasty looking now.
We got given our Lego version of ourselves. Oh. Yeah, everyone was excited about that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yes. Took stuff off the set sometimes. Yeah.
Allegedly.
We went crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy spending that money.
There was a lot of coins in Smaug's cabin, and everyone they had to start sending memos saying people stop taking the coins. The treasure was getting smaller by the week.
Had to give that magical ring back eventually and put it all back. Yeah, absolutely.
I got my helmet.
Yeah, wow.
They offered me my sword, and I said, no, I don't want my sword. I said, well, what do you want instead? He said, my helmet. I said, why your helmet? I said, because I'm going to take it home, and I'm going to take it out of the box, and I'm going to kick it round the garden. Because I hate that thing. Made me look cross-eyed, it hurt. I didn't like the helmet. I've still got it. I'll just take it out every now and again and kick it round the garden. But, oh no, I won't abuse it. It's got to be a helmet. Otherwise you lose the joy of kicking it around the garden.
Are those helmets, are they sort of all padded inside and nice, or is it quite, now I can see why you're going to kick it around the garden.
Yeah, the padding wears away.
Yeah. Oh, I just imagine.
I asked to not wear my helmet because they wanted us to do fighting and stuff, and it just would like Bernard said, it didn't sit and fall over your eyes. If you had the middle nose, but that would come off, and it would look cool maybe in a still photograph, but as soon as you move, it looks
so aesthetically lovely, but functionally not good.
Please just let me not have it. Yeah, whipped it off.
Okay.
I was wondering if you knew your faces was going to be on an airplane, or was that a surprise when you saw it for the first time?
That was surprising. Yeah. Really surprising. My face had a window on it though, so it was like a nose and a bit of a goatee, I think. So it wasn't really me. It's a bit of me. Yeah.
Okay, where are we?
Hi. What was the hardest scene to shoot doing The Hobbit?
There were some scenes that we shot over months because there would be they'd shoot one part of it and then they would build a set and shoot the other part of it, like when y'all were up on the wall and we were down below, and then there'd be people on the other side of the battlefield that would get shot months later. So that was tricky when you're trying to put together, a scene where you're talking to people and you're not actually doing the scene really. You're just kind of, doing it in front of a green screen. That's challenging.
Yeah, just walking around in those costumes was quite challenging. They're really hot. We had to do some fighting. I think the fighting was tricky because you get hot so quickly. So we did one. It was me, Richard, and Aidan. I think it was for the end of the first film, and we had to do some fighting. We just kept doing takes, but they ended up putting buckets by our seat because we were all getting quite nauseous. None of us ended up using it, but it was pretty taxing that day. So maybe that was difficult for me. Maybe not Aidan, he's fitter than me, but
yeah, presumably you had to do a lot of fighting where, you know, things weren't there as well. So you're just sort of imagining what you're doing because you're only in part of a scene. A lot of it is going to be green screen, and you're sort of imagining and projecting what else is there. There must have been, you know, did you have to sort of really get into your role and really sort of engage with all those different things that weren't there? How did you manage to do that?
Well, Peter's excitement always takes you a long way because he'll be like, all right, you're going to do this and you're going to come here like that, and then they're going to come, you know what I mean? That always kind of helps you understand what you're trying to make and get you really excited about it, you know? Because a lot of it was, I mean, a lot of times when I was on the elk, it would be, you know, but obviously we didn't have a big war elk. We didn't. Yeah.
So quite chat. Okay, where are we?
Hi.
There we go.
Hi. So I was just wondering, Amazon are working on the new Middle-earth series at the moment, and I just sort of wondered what your thoughts are on that, whether maybe you'd return to Middle-earth if there was a possibility, and like return and be part of that world again, especially Lee, like Thranduil as an elf, so that's...
I don't know anything about it. You probably know more about it than I do. I don't know anything about it. I mean, it probably is going to be pretty cool.
Are they auditioning still? Like,
I don't know that much about it, but I just wondered what you guys thought of it. You know, having been part of the films before, like.
I mean, it's exciting to hear that someone else is going to reinterpret Middle Earth in cool ways. That'll be interesting to see what that's going to be. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what we're going to get? That'll be fun. Huh.
I won't be in it.
I don't know much about it. I mean, I know it's new shooting in New Zealand, so lots of people have been asking me that as well, but I don't, as far as I don't know.
They're shooting it now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess I'm not in it then.
That'll be quick.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Okay, let's see if we can get it right at the back.
Hi there. Kia ora. My question is, what was the most emotional scene that you have been filming in The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit?
Most emotional scene for you guys?
I did some great emotional scenes with Miranda Otto, who's playing my niece. And I think they were the kind of most charged of scenes, especially the death scenes and stuff like that. We shot Théoden's death 3 times in different days, different months. Really. Yeah, and they were quite emotional. You know, saying, I know your face and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I remember I had, I guess, a pretty emotional scene with Tauriel at the end of the 3rd movie. It was so fun. I really loved Evangeline, so it was really fun to get to work with her in those characters.
Yeah. I thought I was going to have an emotional scene with Aidan because the audition was he was dead and I was lamenting his death. And I thought that'll be something that's going to be, but actually we ended up sort of dying quite separately. So no, so there's no real emotion there at all. I mean, like personally for me, like the last day of filming was really emotional, which actually was the same day that we shot a lot of our deaths, but it was the last day that we were filming. It was the last day of pickup, so we sort of knew that we weren't going to really see each other for potentially quite a long time. So for me, that was not within the acting world, but in the actual world, that felt it was sad to see it go.
Okay. Where are we? Right at the back. Oh, there we go. In this corner.
Hi there. We all know that Viggo broke his toe kicking the helmet. Did any of you guys get any injuries while filming?
Yep, all of us. Every single one of us. Orlando Bloom fell off his horse.
Ooh.
And he's got a bad back. He broke his back ages ago. He fell off and then the guy playing Gimli fell on top of him. And that was at the top of Deer Park Heights, so it was a long journey back down to Queenstown. I had 6 stitches in my ear. The sword chopped my ear in bits.
Wow.
Friendly fire, of course. He went up to hit a spear from the orcs, and his sword glanced off another sword or another spear, and I was right in the way. Dink. And I went, oh, that hurts. And carried on, and everyone said, have you seen your ear? You should have a look at your ear. Oh, 6 stitches, yeah.
Wow. Leading, did you guys have any injuries? No?
So many injuries, yep.
Yeah?
No, that's a great one, though. The ear is the best. They would have had heaps of blood. Did it bleed a lot?
It did.
Yeah, yeah. I got bursitis in my shoulder from carrying the swords, and I popped a tendon in my knee when I had to jump off a goat. I think it was. Yeah, in the chariot.
We've all been there.
Yeah. I think they were goats, in the chariot at the end. Yes. Yeah, so obviously it wasn't goat, but I had to jump off it, and I had to jump from one to the other, and my foot stayed in the stirrup, so it just kind of twisted and it was sore. And the plus was, it was near the end of shooting, and I was like, no, I'm fine, but then my knee swelled up really quite badly. And so they took me to the doctor, so I got sort of half a day off, which was quite nice because it was near the end and we were all pretty tired. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get the full experience.
Yeah, it came out unscathed.
I got smashed in the face when we were doing the barrel scenes on my nose. I hit another barrel and my head went boonk like that. But it wasn't that bad, but what happened was it ripped my prosthetic nose. And there was a bit of blood beneath it, and it just filled up, and it looked like my nose had been just torn apart. And they said, Dean, you need to look at your nose. And I was like, why? And the makeup held the mirror, and I was like, oh, I had to lie down. But it actually wasn't bad. I thought I destroyed myself, but it was nothing. It was just rubber.
Hi. It's great to meet you. I probably know the answer, but we may have to change the timelines a little bit, but do you think if your respective characters had the one ring and were about to cast it into the fire, do you think they would, or do you think they may get swayed right at the end? Do you think? No?
we came up with a solution for the ring. Just give it the big birds.
Yeah, the eagles.
So go put it in the fires of Mordor. And Gandalf would go boom, boom with his staff, and then that would be it. And I suggested that to Pete, and he said, yeah, but we wouldn't have any films. I said, no, but you get a lot more days off. And then he thought about that. Thought that was quite a good idea. Also, we had a discussion about the braziers on the top of the mountains, when they light the braziers.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out. We saw it at Pete's house because we had to see it, and then we can talk about it to the press. And I said, Pete, you know the braziers? He said, oh, I knew you'd ask this question. It's typical of you to work this out. I said, yeah. Were the people already up there? Did they live up there? Waiting for the sign for the other one to say, light your brazier. And did they use matches? And didn't they get damp? Just things like that. Stupid things like that.
Little houses.
Yeah, no, it was worrying seeing him taking it seriously, taking it in.
Fair question. Fair question.
Yeah. Lord of the... That would be really... The Lord of the...
I probably would have thrown it in. I think my character would have hifted in. Anyway, dwarves got really fat, stubby fingers. He couldn't have put it on his finger anyway.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he would have? Or not?
No. I think he would have turned right in the end, I think. To try and... He's convinced he could use it for good, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
He thinks he would throw it in, right?
Just to try and he
Yeah.
believed he could use it for good.
He could use it for good, but we know how that will probably end up.
I think we've got time for one more question. One more question. Where's our room? Right, there we go. Run and we keep these runners fit. Okay.
Hi. Oh, I have a little rabbit called Daryl because he's named after my favourite Walking Dead character, and I had a hamster called Thranduil because she was a little princess.
Oh dear. It's off to a really good start.
And do you have any pets? And if you don't, what would you have? And what Middle Earth character would you name it after?
I mean, I just have a dog named Pete.
Yeah, it's a Pete. Yeah, exactly.
I have a dog, and she's called Bunny. I don't know. Maybe I'd name her like Jed Brophy. She's really wiry and bouncy and energetic. Yeah. What's Nori? I like Bunny better.
I've got a pass. I don't know I don't know any of the people you were talking about. I can't make any comparisons with what I would call my parrot, whatever.
What is your parrot called?
Yeah, well, what's he called?
No? A pig. A pit.
Shut up. A pet.
I'm just from New Zealand, you see. You can't say You have to say So he said, do you have a pit? I do have a pit. Most people have pits. Or a pin.
Yeah.
That was the thing. That thing that went on with my makeup artist. Yes, we got a pin up or a pun.
It's a weird accent. All right, it is. It's a weird accent. Weird.
I had that with a New Zealand friend before. They said, "Do you have a pin?" And a pin? Do you have a pin? I was looking around. I brought them the pin. I said, "A pin. Do you have a pin?" Okay, so yeah. So there we go.
Where we get it from? I think it's a Scottish.
I don't know what accent that was. It wasn't New Zealand, that's for sure. It wasn't at all. But did you say your dog was Peter then? Was it?
Yeah, Pete.
Is it after Peter Jackson?
No.
No. All right. Okay. I assumed then. I thought we were there.
Good name for him.
Oh yeah. So probably. Let's take one more question. One last question. We can do one last question. Just about got time. Where are we? Running along the back there.
Last question. No pressure.
Yeah. You get a good one.
You don't have to.
Okay, here we go. I got you.
I'm just going to come up with a question.
That's what we're hoping.
This one's for Dean. In the last Hobbit movie, when Thorin had a sort of a standoff with Bard and Thranduil, do you think Fili approved of his actions?
Just remind me. just refresh me what the argument was about.
Yeah, sorry. He didn't have any lines, but they were standing on top of the.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I definitely had an opinion about it, but I can't share it with you guys today. But I'll think about that, and I'll let you know.
Some of these things are deeply personal.
Yeah.
Deeply personal. So there we go. Go on, let's have one more. Let's have one more question. Go on. Run. They're right at the back and they can hardly see them. Well, there we go. Here, I think.
Hiya. If you could ask yourself a question on a Comic-Con panel, what would you ask yourself?
That's actually a really good question.
What did she say?
If you could ask yourself a question on a panel, what would you ask?
Yeah, that was my question.
Oh, okay, no. Speak up. I don't know.
Have you ever been prepared for something thinking everyone's going to ask me this question? I know, and they've never asked it. Is there ever a question like that? You've, something you've had prepared ready and nobody's ever asked you? Nothing like that.
3 jet-lagged actors.
Nothing at all.
Fuck, I don't know. No,
or is there something you've always expected to be asked and just it's never come up?
No. I feel like you guys know more about the shoot than we did. No, I can't. Can you think of anything? Sorry, that's a really good question. I'm sorry that I can't equal it with an answer.
Just to end on, I'm going to ask you, what was your favourite scene that you shot? What was it for you that sort of defined your character, that you sort of thought, that's it, that's the scene, that's what I'm going to be remembered for? What was it you most enjoyed, most pleased with the scene?
One of the first scenes that I shot was the scene where I captured Thorin, and I didn't capture him, but some of my elven friends did. And then the way we shot it was I was in one soundstage and Richard was in another soundstage, and they'd comped together the size differences in real time. And it was technically something really, really interesting to be a part of and to see how they were doing it, as we were filming the scene, kind of working out the dynamics and camera moves with our different sizes while we were there. So I was with the first scene I'd shot, and I thought, God, this is really, really going to be a cool thing to be a part of. So that's one thing I remember.
That's good. What about for yourselves? Was there a scene that you really absolutely loved?
There are lots of scenes, always different kind of emotional responses for me, anyway. The charge at Pelennor Fields, that got quite complicated because the horse that I was on, that I trained with, we did a rehearsal. The second AD came up and said, we'll do a rehearsal of that. When you say those lines, and they all shout death. Not the horses, of course, but the riders. Some of which were women with beards on, all that stuff. It was very confusing. You're trying to remember your lines, and you're going fast and forth. So he said, right, we'll just rehearse it. Bernard's going to come out and just turn around, and he's going to shout da 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 da, and you're all going to shout death. So I did that, and I said da, 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 death. They all went death. The horse went fuck, Horses are not supposed to do this. So we had to eventually change the horse. They did it without telling me. I knew I wouldn't give in. But he just took off with me on his back. And all the wranglers going, wow, making him worse. Making it look like there's something wrong, And I'm saying, I've got him, because he was like my horse, Yeah. I knew what he was capable of doing and what he wasn't capable of doing. So I was just going to run him off for a bit and get some energy out of him, But of course, he wasn't. Every time he turned, there was somebody there going.
So it's not just female dwarves then with beards. You see the riders of Rohan as well there. Yeah,
it's a New Zealand thing. Yeah.
It is. Dean, anything for you as well that you remember? So many.
Every day had its own. amazing or surreal quality to it. I mean, I said it a million times, but when we were in the river, in the barrels, that was just surreal because of the size of that scene and the practicality of having people in barrels on a real river, you know, with a current. Quite a strong current. So that was for me like the most. It was a beautiful sunny day too, you know, and the water was freezing, and our costumes were always used to being hot, so we're actually being in the water for once we were of neutral temperature, which was really really memorable. But I mean, so many things.
I can imagine. Must have been absolutely amazing. It's also been absolutely amazing having you here today. Thank you for taking time out for us, Lee, Dean, and Bernard. Everyone,
thank you, everybody.